Hello, I'm Keisha. I purchased the sheep brain to do the dissection. Right now we're looking at the dorsal surface of the brain. This is the brain stem. This is right here. This is the cerebellum. It's actually not connected to what is known as the cerebrum, which is up here. It is actually connected to the brainstem. And this here is the left hemisphere and the right hemisphere. The left hemisphere controls the right side of the body, the right controls the left side of the body. So yeah. So if you flip it over, this is called the ventral surface. You can see the ventrals on this side of the brain. It's really small, like we had discussed in the lecture. Like, it's really small on the sheep brain. It's a really young sheep, so it's a really small brain. So we have the hindbrain. This is like part of like the bottom part of the brain where the brain stem is, like, and the cerebrum is. And then you have the midbrain, which is where you see like the brain stem kind of run, like where it kind of runs into like this is the cerebellum, sorry, not the cerebrum. Like, this is the brain stem, this is the cerebellum. Right here is, now we're running into like the cerebrum part of the brain, that's the midbrain. And then here at the front, this is the forebrain, which, you know, we talked about, like, you know, we perceive the world through our five senses, this part of the brain. And then we have like our, up here, the olfactory bulbs that help with like smell. You know, as we discussed in the lecture, this part is like bigger on the sheep, meaning they probably have a better sense of like the world around them through smell than humans. And then you have the optic nerve, which is right here. It's very tiny. And then we have, excuse my dog growling, by the way. I don't know, he sees a squirrel or a bird outside, so you'll hear him every now and then. We have the optic tract. It is, right here, maybe? It looks a little different from the picture. I'm thinking this is the optic tract, and right here is the optic nerve. Okay. So now we're going to turn the brain back over. And, you know, back to the dorsal view. And we're going to cut it in half with the knife. First time ever doing anything like this, so I'm not going to lie, a little nervous. So I'm going to use the knife and cut the brain down the middle into two halves. And this will reveal the cross section of the brain. All right. Just double checking. I'm gonna make sure I do this all correct. It's not like you get another brain if you mess it up. So gonna start slicing. This is really cool, by the way. I was really looking forward to this project. I think with what I do, like I work in ABA, I work with children on the autism spectrum. I think it's really important to have like at least a very general view of like the brain and neurology and how that can impact behavior, because you know, in our field we call those private events. They're things that happen that can possibly impact behavior that we can't see from the outside. So here we go. I have it cut in half. Let's kind of look at it. Hold on, let's kind of hold on. So I'm going to place one side down, and we're going to look at the corpus callosum. That is, I'm looking, it's just not as easy. In the picture, it's very bright pink, and this is really gray. I'm sure it should be. This should be the corpus callosum. It's a little lighter in color. So this connects the two hemispheres of the cerebrum. So this kind of conjoins the two hemispheres. They couldn't work together if it wasn't for this part of the brain. And then the pineal body, let's see. Kind of have to just I want to hold it up to the picture. I want to make sure I'm not missing it. It just looks a little different. Oh, here it is. It's so tiny. So this is the pineal body right here. It's little bitty. And it's a gland that produces hormone called melatonin. Oh yeah, we talked about this, and you talk about this in the lecture. It helps us go to sleep. If there's like an injury to this part of the brain, we might not ever wake up or not be able to sleep again. So I'm gonna lay this down and look over my instructions for a second. Okay. So now we're looking at the lobes of the cerebrum. So we've got, right here is the frontal lobe. It's where emotions, planning, problem solving comes from. You know, as humans, we tend to be, you know, a lot more developed in this area than any other species. We also can like think abstractly, this area of the brain. Let's see. And then we have our parietal lobe, which is like here. Let's see. It's recognition and movement, and then the occipital lobe. Sorry, I'm trying to say it right. Occipital lobe, which is back here. Yes, right here. It's behind here. It's responsible for vision. So yeah, this is when we see things. This is part of the brain that kind of helps us process that. And then we have our temporal lobe, which is right here. So it's, it's like beside the occipital lobe, but on the side more. And I don't remember if I mentioned parietal lobe, but if not, it's right here. It's kind of in the middle. It's the middle part of the cerebrum. And then I'll have pictures as well to kind of, better like illustrate, where these places are that I'm talking about. I just wanted to do a video and pictures to kind of better thoroughly document what I'm doing. Okay. Okay, with half of the brain, use the knife to cut the cerebrum in half across the front. So this part I was a little confused about because I thought it meant to cut this way, but it's my understanding from what we watched in the video, we're just kind of making another cut vertical. Because we want to see the gray matter and the white matter. And as we discussed in, a previous video, or, the gray matter, it's kind of like, sort of like where the information and processing that information is held. The white matter is how, it's kind of like the pathways or the roads in the communities to get that information delivered or sent. So I'm gonna cut again. I don't know why cutting it makes me nervous, but I'm gonna go ahead and cut again so we can see that white and gray matter, and here goes nothing. Okay. I've got some like light shaded sunglasses on for eye protection, so I'm trying to kind of see, maybe if I hold it into some better light, I can kind of see the white and gray we're talking about. Let's see. Oh yeah, I can see it. I just kind of had to shine it in the light a little bit. So here's the white matter we were talking about. It's a little more subtle on the actual brain versus the pictures in the catalog. But here's the white matter, like right here. Let's see, I'm gonna actually poke at these and see if there's a difference in like hardness. Interesting. Okay. See, I feel like the firmer areas are the white, and then the gray is the softer area, which for some reason I wasn't expecting that. I was expecting it to be the opposite. The white matter is actually made up of axon, nerve fibers that carry nerve signals. The gray matter is made up of nerve cells that process and transmit the nerve signals. Interesting. So there's that. Let me see, I want to make sure I'm not. So there was a couple things that we talked about in the video. I think I put that upside down. That weren't, I mean, at least I didn't see it in the catalog, but in the student catalog at least, but I looked in the adult catalog, and I just to be, make sure I discuss it and I don't leave something out I need to. I'm going to talk about the optic chiasma, which probably would have been a little easier to do before cutting the brain. So that's like the ventral view of the brain. So let's see if I can uncover where that is. Sometimes it's easier just to hold the brain over the picture so I can kind of see it better. Man, that one is a little harder to see. for me anyway. I think it's this. That's the optic chiasma, I believe. Yeah, I kind of wish I'd looked at this before cutting the brain. Oh, no, never mind. Hold on. Okay. Actually, just kidding. It is... I will find it. I guess right here. Optic chiasma. And then I'm just gonna get brain juice on my manual. It is what it is at this point. There's just no graceful way of doing this. And then we have the thalamus, which is right here, actually. So hopefully you can see that okay. That's the thalamus. And again, I'll have some pictures. The third ventricle, or one of the ventricles, is right here. Let's see, corpus callosum. No, the colliculus. Sorry, I think out loud when I talk. I'm trying to find it. I don't know why I can't find it. Oops. Okay. I feel like this side of the brain is a little easier to see what's going on. So, oh, it's because when I cut it, I kept the pineal body intact, which is what I'm kind of using to locate where things are. This, I guess, is where the superior colliculus is. It's behind the pineal body. And there's like little ventricles throughout the brain. So yeah, I'm going to take some pictures of what I just did, but this is a video kind of step by step what I did to dissect it. There we go.